All right, here we go. Because I'm going to be shooting this knockdown and texturing my walls. There's an orange peel on it now, and that way because I don't want to put any. I want to prevent the texture from being doubled up here in the corner and on this edge of the ceiling. So to prevent that, I'm putting this tape up here, and then I'll be running paper along this edge, coming back, and that way this painted textured ceiling won't be involved. It won't get messed up by the texture I put on the walls. And this way I put my tape, when I tape the paper to the blue tape here, all right? All right. Following that corner where it meets the wall, where they join. All right. Okay. You stick the first part of this tape right in the corner where you want it, and then everything else should pretty much follow suit, as long as I don't have something like this offset from the tile throwing me off. Okay, so get this set right exactly in where we want it. Perfect. Now you come up here, you just tap it, just kind of push it in on the outer edge, push it to the wall, touch it to it. Same thing right here, kind of stick it, stick. Bam, that's how it's supposed to go. Then I can take a razor blade and I can cut that off right there and remove that little piece of tape sticking down. Come up here and you just cut in right there into that corner. Okay, fixing a tear, and gonna get it stuck to this blue tape. Okay. All right. I don't know how anybody else does it, so this is how I'm doing it. All right, now. All right, now we've got the ceiling shielded. I can mix up my drywall mud, my joint compound, and get her spraying on the wall. This is where you need a dust mask. Where you need a dust mask.
It looks covered.
Okay. Want to see powder? You can overdo this quite easy, so you want to kind of add, mix, and not tangle your feet up in your cord. We're making dough. Okay, time for more water. Boy, it might be too much. And it may be just fine. I may need to add some more water actually. Yep, more water. We've got mud, clay right now. Now at this point it doesn't take a whole lot of water. You can overdo it really quick and it becomes soupy. Check it. A little more water.
What are we looking for in that?
I'm looking for it to be not quite that thick so that when it hits the wall it's heavy enough to splat and have some resilience to it, so it has some body left, but not so thin it's just, you know, like pancake batter is going to be super thin. So you want it thicker than pancake batter. And now I'm thinking this may do the trick. Okay, and this will stick, but yet it will drop off. See, it still has, it's heavy enough, but see it's, and that's about like when you're doing tile, it's about the consistency you want your thin set too. When you're doing tile, it's the same kind of consistency as far as in thickness. All right. I mean, you could make it a little thinner, but I think I'm going to go with this. So now I got to go out and put this on my tester board and see what kind of pattern I'm going to get and how, if this thickness is going to work, and it should.
What's that?
This is the hopper. This is your texture gun. And on the front, you've got different settings depending on the type of, the style of texture you want, the pattern of texture that you want to spray. All right, and this has already been preset and it was loaned to me, so I got to go test it out once we get this drywall mud in here. You definitely use it. Now the mixer, the stirrer I'm using is for paint. It's actually a paint mixer designed for mixing paint. It's not really designed for your drywall mud, but as you've seen, it works. They have a bigger paddle for drywall mud. The paint paddle, the paint mixer is smaller, but you saw, it definitely works. This is my pattern. This is what I'm looking at. Okay, so that's all she wrote. So I take a bow. All right, time to clean out the gun. Okay, now you saw the fun and excitement we had here. Putting this texture on the wall. I taped this up so that we didn't get the texture sprayed on the ceiling that's finished, and that we protected the oak light panel. And so now this texture's on the walls. It's setting up, and the camera crew here's got other things to do. So what's next is I'm going to take my sanding pole. This is your sanding pad. Once this sets up, I'm going to go over it, and this will flatten out the lumps. Can you zoom in on the texture? You see how it's kind of lumpy and kind of rolling, and it's not flat at all? Well, it should be flat with the slight edge around the perimeter. And by using the sanding pole, the sanding pad here going across the lumps and humps and bumps here, it'll flatten them out. And you just give it a couple passes, light pressure, and it knocks it down, flattens it out, and you end up with what you have here on the ceiling, except the pattern's going to be much smaller because of the way it was shot on the wall. Okay, it would take bigger bumps, humps, and lumps in order to form the pattern like you see on the ceiling. This is above an orange peel. Orange peel just has a little bit of texture to it. So this is kind of in between orange peel and the pattern you see on the ceiling. So to give it a nice combination of as a finished product, the overall look. Give it some contrast. And so as I'm done with this in here, it'll have a black cabinet, silver gray marble tile, blue silver vessel sinks, and it ought to pop. This whole room should just come to life at that point. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And as I always say, never give up, because there's always a way. Always. And don't forget, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Get Fit with Ken at 9:30 a.m. and tell a friend.